This is KCR, the sound of state.
Just take a nice breath in. Exhale that breath. Just allow yourself now to relax more and more. Because from this moment in time, there's nothing of importance for you to do except relax. Relax.
Hello, people.
Hello,
Humans
hello.
of San Diego and all around. Whoever's listening right now, we love you. And it is Techno Tuesday once again.
Woo woo!
Another episode of Scarlett Letter. Woo!
Scarlett Letter.
I know
on
you guys
KCR.
been waiting all week. And I say that every time, but I know you guys. So, we have two special guests tonight.
Two again. Here we go. This is the best one. We have a nice twofer going.
Mm-hmm. And tell us your names.
Will Lavin.
David Klause.
Beautiful.
Awesome. So, you guys tell us about your brand.
Yeah. What makes Will and David work?
So Will and David. So Nocturne is a new party at Blonde. It's like a darker, like gothic themed, like occult inspired techno event. First and third Tuesdays every month at Blonde Bar.
Radical.
A lot faster music, less bass heavy than like the typical techno fair right now. A little bit faster.
Okay, that's awesome. So, Will, you're involved in a lot of different things, right? Digital Cocoon, Divinity. Can you tell us more about yourself and what have you been up to lately?
Right now, I just got back from a trip to New York. I spent a week in the city just like going to a bunch of different parties, kind of searching for like some networking and some inspiration for like events that I'm going to throw in San Diego here. And I found a lot of really cool parties. Highlights include like Resolute and a couple parties in Brooklyn at Bossa Nova and at Mood Ring.
That's pretty awesome. And what about you, Mr. David? You're kind of new to the scene.
Yeah, I honestly went to my first event in San Diego about a year ago. So kind of just been progressing and meeting people and playing some cool shows here and there, but I'm still in school and working, senior, trying to finish up this year, with a degree, studying global business administration. But,
You mentioned you're new to San Diego. Where were you at before you came here?
I lived in Dana Point. Was raised there for a decent portion of my childhood. But
Awesome.
I also spent some time in a few years in Austria, and actually last year spent 8 months in Berlin, Germany. And
That's where you get your inspiration from right now?
not my sole inspiration, but they really do have an amazing scene there that isn't anywhere else in the
I
world.
can only imagine. So how did you guys meet? How did this started?
Huh. I think our friend Tyler Howard, Hokum, DJ Hokum.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
him?
Yeah, for sure. He's the homie.
He introduced us in his living room. We were mixing together one time.
It all started in the living room. I love it.
Yeah, David's always been the really, really hard dark techno guy.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest of dark techno. That's so cool.
So
And
how did the friendship begin from that? Like, how do you guys just be like, oh, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do the show. Because you can't just do something like that with just anyone.
we
You have to
defi-
create a really strong bond or something.
We definitely wouldn't have the same relationship if it wasn't for music. I feel like since we kind of just immediately bonded from the songs we were playing together, it just immediately
Definitely.
established a connection that you couldn't get with anybody else who didn't have that same understanding of music. So.
I've had that kind of connection with only a handful of people in my life, and they're definitely, still active in it, even if we're divided for a long period of time. Once I find a good song, I'll send the track their way, and then we'll even have a short text conversation or share a little call. I just love that you guys kept this going and grew it into a really cool brand for San Diego as a whole.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about music. It unites us.
No matter who we are, no matter where we come from, there's music for everyone, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Music is life, definitely.
Absolutely.
So I think we are ready to hear a mix by Mr. Maximus, a.k.a. David Klause.
David, over here sitting to my right, what do you have to say about this mix as we launch into it?
It was pretty short notice, so I kind of just tried to improvise the best I could, but really try to kind of give a feel for the sound we're going, where I don't know, this is you're not gonna hear any music like this on a radio station. This is pretty underground techno.
This is the first time it's ever
Yeah.
been
Super
put out
underground.
on the
This is
You heard it first on Scarlett Letter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
Excited
you.
Get
to share
first
it.
dibs. We're special.
We'll see you back at the middle of the hour, and enjoy yourself. Some sick tunes here on Scarlet Letter.
Sick, sick, sick.
If you're interested in talking to us about the music that we're playing, feel free to call 619-594-6982. That's 619-594-6982.
That we know of. It's not just a clean pathway, it's a modifiable pathway that changes in the setting of injury.
All right, folks, we are back in the studio. This is Scarlett Letter on KCR College Radio. We are the award-winning sound of San Diego State, and we were voted San Diego's best AM/FM radio station, period.
OMG.
That's it. We're the best. Where do we
best.
go from here? I don't know, just best in the planet, probably. But if you're interested, you can listen live like you are right now on AM 1610 if you're within SDSU's campus, which I've taken to mean anywhere within about 100 feet of Adams Humanities. Also, you can listen on the TuneIn app. Just look for KCR or on kcr.sdsu.edu. We got a whole lot of cool shows.
Yeah, and we're also live right now on our Facebook page, which is a Scarlett Letter Show.
Yeah, just search up Scarlett Letter Show.
Yeah, you can also look at the interview right now. Say hi. You can look at my face and Will's face and David's face.
We got Will and David in the studio. But before we get back to them and hear some more good stuff, we got to do a couple ads here.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, did you know it's October?
What?
Specifically, it's officially October. I have it on good authority
Officially?
that it is in fact
We're
October.
only 10 days in, or 16 days in.
Yeah, who's counting? We're more than halfway through. But that means that the Scream Zone is officially open. From Sunday night to Thursday night is Scream Zone slashed price school nights. If you show your current school ID to save some money, you can get $10 off the Triple Haunt admission tickets. And those tickets include admission to the House of Horror, the Carnival, spelled with a K, and the Haunted Hayride. Nothing spookier than sitting around in hay that's seen many more butts before yours.
I know, right? And you know what? Like, you might be drowned in student loans, but you can get a discount.
Yeah.
You know?
It ain't, what's $10 in the grand scheme of things?
Right?
A late fee for a VHS tape I still have not returned. I swear to God, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids will be coming back. Blockbuster, if you're listening, you know what's up. I got you.
We won't tell anyone.
And what else is going on, Scarlett? What do you got for us?
Yeah, so this week is officially Homecoming Week. I don't know if you guys knew, but what? Homecoming Week? Make sure to check out homecoming.sdsu.edu/homecoming to see all the great on-campus events you can attend. Make sure you show your support this Saturday for the SDSU versus San Jose State at 7:30 p.m., and we'll see you there. Go Aztecs!
It's red out. Wear all your red stuff.
Yeah, and I just want to give a quick shout out to our friends of Techniche. So there's a really dope event happening this Saturday, October 20th. Oh my God, it's finally October.
It was last week.
I know. It's this Saturday, October 20th, 10 p.m. till 5 a.m. Techniche plus Overdrive with Andre Grossi.
Any
Don't
kind of
miss
covers?
out. Huh?
Any kind of covers we got to worry about?
Yeah, there is a cover, but you can check it out on their Facebook page. It's going to be at Spin San Diego, by the way. If you have never been to Spin, Spin's super awesome. And they're going to be dropping some awesome techno.
Yeah,
so
$10 at the door. Come check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool things going to be spun that day.
Yep.
And now we're going to go straight back into our favorite part, grilling you folks across the mixing board. Welcome back to the studio, Will and David. What did you think of that mix?
David's mix was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, nothing I've ever heard before for sure. I was not ready. My body was not ready.
Never in the United States.
I was bending
pulsating.
backwards.
That's the best way to describe it. It was like a pulsating, undulating mix. A lot of people go for that 4-on-the-floor disco beat, but
It's like a pumping, like psychedelic techno groove.
It was like perfect for the October spooky vibe, for real.
I was letting it wash over me. Do you feel like when you mix, you let the music wash over you, or is it a very focused task? Are you like really in the element?
Absolutely. I know, like, especially when I first started playing, like, I got really nervous before gigs, and one thing that kind of calmed me was telling myself that the music was bigger than me in a way, and yeah, when I play, I just like to, fully lose myself in the focus of it, and it just kind of takes over and watches.
How
all
long
those
have
nervous
you
energies away.
guys been producers? You can start or you can start however you want.
I kind of the person who taught me how to DJ was first and foremost a producer, so I pretty much started learning how to produce right when I was learning how to mix,
Oh, cool.
which
Simultaneously.
which
Yep.
was about 4.5 years ago.
What about you, Will?
I produced my first track, I think about 2.5 years ago actually, and I didn't start playing out until about 2 years ago.
Oh,
that's
so you're
awesome.
both pretty recent. I mean, literally recently on the scene, as in you just came to the United States,
Yeah.
as far as David's concerned.
And
But
Will has been in the scene, but he's a recent producer.
yeah, you're now a creator rather than just a participant. A consumer.
Absolutely, definitely.
Yeah, and touching back on the subject about Nocturne, tell us what sets you apart from other techno events.
I feel like a lot of techno in the United States is not it's not very like proper like on a world aspect. Like a lot of people don't play like what I would describe as like world class techno.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of it is like from like very popular labels and it's not very underground. You hear a lot of like I don't know. I don't want to name any specific labels particularly.
Yeah, name and shame. This is the place to do it. No, I totally know what you're talking about. And actually, I was looking to buy some tickets for an event, and I noticed they had like a special, oh, what kind of events are you interested in? And they had 5 options. The first 2 were just, like Moombaton, reggaeton. Another one was dubstep. And I'm not joking. One of the options was top 40. That was the genre of music that this person could have
40.
marked that they
God.
were interested in. And that made me, I like physically was withdrawn from the computer.
There are facets of this world that I just don't understand at
And
all.
that
Yeah.
may be someone's jam, but I'm so glad that there's people like you two who are here bringing your art to the ears and minds of people who are willing to go out there and try something new.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
like
definitely.
definitely my objective with Nocturne too is to kind of get some people in that may not be exposed to this music.
Because what we're trying to bring, you really kind of have to have a trained ear. To a lot of people, it just sounds really harsh when they first hear it and they hate it. So you really kind of have to be in the know
Yeah, right.
with the scene and the music itself to have a good time at our event. I would say to be open minded, and we want to be kind of extra strict with who comes because we want to have a proper vibe.
Yeah, I know you're right. So, where do you guys get your inspiration to create Nocturne?
For me, I feel like over the past few years that I've been throwing events and working with other people throwing events, I've just kind of like come to this point where like my musical taste is maturing, and I went from playing like really, really, really hard techno that wasn't even this as fast as what we're doing now.
It wasn't even that hard.
Yeah, it wasn't even really
Yeah, it
that
wasn't
hard. I
that
didn't know what
hard.
hard meant. You know what I meant? So like, I guess it's just now I'm kind of maturing and my taste is maturing, and I met David and we've kind of started working together, and it just kind of blossomed into like, I don't know, this just a different vibe of techno than I'm used to playing.
That's great. And is there any advice that you would give people that are trying to create their own event? Now that you now that you just came up with this new event, like what would you tell people?
Stay grounded in the community. That's the most important
Yeah,
part.
go out every night.
If you're trying
That's how you
to,
get known.
if
That's
you're
for
putting
sure.
money ahead of the music, then
That's a non-starter right
Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've had a lot of people come on that would say something really similar.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that the culture comes first in this. And I want to kind of expand upon that. You mentioned you want to kind of have a curated crowd at Nocturne. Is there a way that
Absolutely.
you could describe what that curated crowd consists
Yeah, what
of?
is your vision?
The freaks.
Yeah.
I don't know, not
Bring out
not
the
in
freaks
that
tonight.
negative connotation, but like really what I learned in Berlin, it's like there is like a nightlife culture, and it's very appreciated there and respected there. The government even supports it, whereas here, nightlife's kind of looked down upon. It's for almost outcasts in a way, and it's really not seen well with law enforcement and a lot of other people. But we're really kind of like with Nocturne, it's like almost like bringing out the beauty in the darkness,
Yeah.
and like a place where people who might normally not get the respect like in a normal social setting, where they can kind of just come and be free and be a freak and get lost in the music. And then if you're kind of judge people, then we're gonna tell you to leave.
Well
It's about
said.
Yeah, that's the
coming together
message
and having
that
a
you're
good time.
trying to put out there
Yeah.
through
Exactly.
your music and through Nocturne.
For
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
It's like it's a dark environment, you know what I mean? And it's definitely kind of a little scary, but it's definitely not something I want to be like uninviting in any way, you know what I mean?
It's like a welcoming, warm darkness.
Yeah.
A friend
of mine
Welcome,
says
freaks of the
that. He
night.
asked, why do people want to just like sit in the dark and listen to music? And I asked him, why do you want to read a book? All you're doing is holding a tree carcass and reading something that
I enjoy
someone wrote
both.
a long time ago. Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive. Sometimes you want to get a little freaky, get a little weird, and like you said, bring out the beauty in the darkness. When can I buy a T-shirt that says that, by the way?
Beauty
I
in
don't
the
know about
darkness.
t-shirts, man.
Stay
Beauty in
tuned.
the darkness. Okay, let me
Yeah,
rephrase.
so-
When can I get that spray painted onto my chest?
Right?
Probably first show. I
Yeah.
think.
After
Radical.
this,
I'll
Yeah.
hook
gotta
you
get
up with
some
that.
spray paint.
Get a tattooed Nocturne.
Yeah, can we just
Beauty
tattoo?
of
Can
the
we just do
night.
our logo on you real quick? That'd be
Right?
great.
Cool. Let's
Just
just
get
do a
that
little like
tattooed.
coke and ink.
Yeah,
Just-
easy.
I'll lift up my shirt, and right here in the studio, we'll use this little aux cable. We'll sharpen it up with my pocket knife.
So easy.
Perfect.
That's dedication to your craft right there.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So here comes a question that I always ask our guests. And it's, what do you think of the underground music scene in San Diego? And it could be, we can start with the positive first, and then the negative aspects.
All right, positives first. I think it's really cool that we have a lot of different events around San Diego that are outside of like the mainstream downtown crowd. I also think that it's really cool that we have so many different promotion groups doing so many different vibes and throwing around so many
Right,
different
right.
kinds of ideas. You see, like, you go to a disco party at night, or you'll go to a techno party at night.
Yeah,
or
there's
you'll
a
do
little bit
deep
of
house.
everything.
And it's cool that we have spin. It's open till 4, so it's a little bit. You get a little bit of a taste of like what the rest of the world is like, because I feel like most major cities, you can go out all night long. You know.
Yeah, or you can just go to TJ, you know.
Yeah, it's like TJ's a really good example. I mean, you can be out for 3 days in a row and not have
True.
to.
My
stop
girlfriend
drinking.
always complains about how lackluster the clubs are here in America because where she's from, they're open all night long, like you said, and you know, like
Till
the discotheque
sunrise.
culture, it never died. It was never seen as that negative
For
thing
sure.
that it is here. So people just
Exactly.
go out from all walks of life. They're like, hey, I'm gonna go party, and they're welcomed and they're accepted, and that's like, that's
Yeah,
your
it
weekend.
took me a long time for me to be like, I'm gonna go out tonight and not feel any little bit of guilt about, like, partying and being in the scene and staying up later than I should, maybe not sleeping enough before I go to work in the morning or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
who's
but
the person judging you for how late you should be up?
Exactly. It's there's
Yeah.
like my parents' voice in my head from when I was a kid, probably
Yeah.
something conditioning me.
Oh,
like
you
that,
already know.
It's
Your
past 8
parents like,
p.m.
what are you doing out so late?
Yeah.
Like,
I called
and
my
you know,
dad.
Mom.
but
Really
you're-
funny. I called
you're-
my father the other morning in the warehouse at 9:30 a.m. and I was in New York and he was also in New York and I was just like, "Good morning, Dad," and I was still in the warehouse at 9:30, just dancing, having a great time.
But that's how you get your experience, and you're also like studying the events and getting known, because that's how you do it. You have to be out there. You have to like get your name out there, meet people. That's how you create connections and networking and all that.
Absolutely. Any more positives about the scene, David?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. How community based it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to like, a lot of events around the world, and like there's nothing like San Diego really,
You're right.
except for maybe Moonchild. But,
Yeah, Moontribe's something else.
It's like it's really so special how kind of almost everybody knows everybody, and it's just friends getting together, and going out and having a good time celebrating each other, which is what it's all about. It's not like really it's pretty welcoming. It's not very pretentious like say Berlin. It's just about coming together and having a good time.
Yeah. So what about
Yeah.
the negatives?
Yeah, where can you see this scene improving in the future?
Production quality, I feel like, and I feel like a lot of that is like people don't want to come out and spend a lot of money on tickets right now. Like I feel like people worry about a $30 or $40 ticket sometimes when it's worth it. Like I just came back from Brooklyn, and in Brooklyn you go to a warehouse party and it's $40 at the door, but you go in and there's a giant, amazing Function One sound system,
Yeah.
and like visuals all over the ceiling.
6
And everything.
18-inch subs.
Yeah,
and
it's just great. More than that. You know what I mean? And it's-
16, 18-inch subs.
Yeah, there you go. Now we're talking. You know what I mean? It's like something very special, and it's like worth the money to me to spend that. I'd rather spend like $100 on a ticket
On some
for
something quality.
a really
some
good
quality,
12 or
yes.
13, 14-hour party. And so the other part of that is that, like, yeah, the clubs aren't open that late here, and the warehouse spaces are hard to come by in San Diego, so you can't really throw parties like that here right now. You know what I mean? It's difficult.
So that's a good way we can improve in the future.
Absolutely. Break the law more and don't be scared.
What's some,
Bend the rules.
what are some of the challenges that you guys faced so far? It could be as producers or as experienced creators.
Huh.
I know that's a deep question. Do you-
Promotions can be pretty difficult,
Yeah.
especially because personally, just I don't like to annoy people. With
Oh my
with
god,
my
I know.
event. Like I don't want to spam people and just be that guy. But it's important with reaching an audience.
For
So
sure.
I think an important delineation between being that guy and being an effective promoter is making sure, like you said, you're reaching that curated crowd.
Yeah, and your posts have
And
to
the
be
way you
engaging.
which is
do
honestly
it.
pretty hard to do. That takes time, you know. You really have to
Absolutely.
build a foundation for that with people.
If
To,
promoting
I-
was easy, everyone would be doing it.
I know. Trust me, I was promoting with a brand and for like a year, and I just felt like and a word because I was just bombarding everyone with posts about this going on and this going on and blah, and it was like,
Tuesday. Blah, blah.
I know, and I really hated it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm getting the experience, and now I know I don't like to do this. But now that we have the show, I'm trying to make it cohesive, you know, like I'm not bombarding people with posts like every 5 minutes, you know, like you have to think of how you're going to do it.
Sure thing.
absolutely.
And I
You
mean,
need to build a
Facebook-
foundation to do that.
You need a little bit
Yeah.
more tact.
There
Absolutely.
you go.
Now,
So-
what we have next here?
I guess we're ready for Will's.
Oh man, this is
Mix?
a sick one.
Any notes you have coming into this one?
The intro is just like ridiculous. I was like,
We like ridiculous.
I had the
Bring
biggest
crazy.
smile on my face the entire time I played this.
I'll be watching your eyes
Pure-
as I
pure
bring up
liquid
the fader
madness.
on this one. Radical, we're going to come back a little bit more towards the end here. We're going to have a couple more closing notes with them. But in the meantime, you're listening to Scarlet Letter.
On
and here we
KCR
go,
College
on
Radio.
KCR College Radio.
Ooh.
All right, so we are back in the studio. We got Will and David here for some closing remarks. I want to ask y'all something that's a little bit more personal. What is a moment that you felt was maybe one of the tougher parts, something that kept you from your full potential, a moment where you bombed, or something where you just lost clarity with regard to your music career?
I've played a few pretty rough sets, honestly. Earlier in my career that were like, I had to play a 2-hour set, and I feel like one of the last 30 minutes of it, I wasn't really on it. You know what I mean?
It happens.
And I was having beat matching problems.
Train wrecking,
definitely.
We've all been there.
One after the other.
I've had problems with equipment numerous times, and I feel like all those times I like walk out of the experience kind of being a little bit like shook by it. Yeah, like disheartened for sure. But you know, I always come back stronger, and I always try and like try to do better next time, you know what I mean? And now that like I'm playing gigs that are like on a more serious level professionally, I feel like it's definitely my responsibility to like be on point at all times, you know what I mean?
Radical.
You're right.
And what about you, David? Any moment that stands out for you?
Probably, you know, just when you first start DJing and you're like a bedroom DJ, and you gain all this like self-confidence that maybe isn't necessary when you're going hard by yourself in your room, you know? But then like when you first start to play gigs, you
like,
carry that confidence with you. But like, I'm really glad that I kind of was humbled and like realized, I don't know, I guess my understanding of electronic music wasn't that refined before, but I thought it was more based kind of on the music and less like technical until like I went to Berlin. But I really kind of after that established, like, okay, like I want to be a good DJ, not just to play music that is gonna, like, people are gonna like. I want to be able to play music that maybe the crowd won't like, but like mixed with something that like they'll
give them something new.
Yeah, to throw them off, you know.
Absolutely.
Blow people's minds.
And speaking of blowing people's minds.
Oh yeah.
Question.
Last question. What does the future hold for Nocturne? What is your vision?
Well, I mean, like we haven't even really thrown the first party yet, but so the future's it's really, you can only go up from here.
All the way up.
Yeah, all the way up.
When's your first party going?
It's gonna be October 23rd. It's a Tuesday at Blonde Bar.
Radical. What time?
It starts at 9.
Is there a cover?
It's free before 10. It's $5 cover after, and you can get a discount on your ticket by checking in when you arrive or by sharing our event and showing us a shared post at the door.
Is there any way that we can reach you guys via Facebook page or something?
Yeah, there's a Facebook page. It's just called Nocturne. You can also reach me through.
That's Nocturne.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you can also reach me through my other
love.
Facebook page, Will Lavin. The page, not my personal Facebook.
Don't follow my personal Facebook, you weirdo.
Don't look at my tag photos.
Don't see my vacation photos.
Yeah, and I will be posting the event also on our Facebook page, Scarlett Letter Show. So I will keep you guys updated of all the amazing shows that are happening in San Diego.
Beautiful. And one last time, you're listening to KCR College Radio,
The award-winning Sound of State.
Thank you, Will, David. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you guys so much.
See you guys
Thank
on
you.
Appreciate
See you
It.
next Tuesday.